For too long, the fair use system has been abused, allowing people to either re-upload intellectual property, or IP, with little to no transformation provided, or falsely flagged content that's using a portion of IP fairly. In today's film, I will be proposing my own fair use guidelines. Now let's get started. Now I'm going to be straight up. The current factors are big word complexities that seem ambiguous. Otherwise, I'm too dumb and too hesitant to test it, despite seeing many proven cases of fair use. But whatever. I am proposing 4 factors of fair use. First is the external transformation factor, which will be the criticism and commentary you provide throughout most of the playthrough of the relevant clip or clips. Certain channels focus on providing commentary and criticism, primarily the latter, and a combination of the two, otherwise focusing on providing a reaction, are actually quite informative, and, if not just that, considerably entertaining.
Roland Barthes in his book Mythologies broke this process down into 3 levels of signification. The denotations, which on a basic level is what you see. The connotations, which is the meaning you make, and myths, which are narratives that support the connotations and is what creates shared social values. Myths comes from traditions, history, stereotypes, and etc., and they all impact what cultural lens we inherit. In the case of the English, it's a subtle level of cynicism and distrust towards moral simplicity. Consequently, Judge Dredd as an intellectual property and cultural icon is the symbolic embodiment of the strange difference between English and American myths and values.
There's an interesting backlash that's been going on with the Sam Raimi films as well as the Mark Webb films. In honor of Spider Month, we're going to look at both of these series, but for now, let's start with the Sam Raimi movies. In the past, they were mostly well received, gaining praise from critics and audiences, and even hailed as trailblazing groundbreakers. With the release of even bigger fan favorites though, like the MCU Spider-Man films and even the Oscar-winning Into the Spider-Verse, many are looking back at these and seeing them as, well, corny.
The reason I tell you.
I will say, because I'm looking for positives now, because this is going to be the greatest movie of all time. I like the way that the camera is moving. It really makes you feel like you're a part of it. So instead of having like steady shots or just having it on like a track, they just have a handheld camera that's down with them. So it's like a little bit of shake to it. To most of these shots. It gives a little bit more grit, realism, I guess. But is realism really something you're going for in a movie about cats? Human cats?
Second is the internal transformation factor, which will be one of, or a combination of the following. Pauses in the relevant clip, the cuts between clips, the added obscurities which could be but not limited to blurring, and other manipulative edits provided throughout most of the playthrough of the relevant clip or clips. Certain channels focus on comedy or parody, which is another form of comedy, as well as that of which I had already previously mentioned are also quite entertaining.
Ruby Rose is like, oh, crazy. Look, I can do crazy. I can just bug my fucking eyes out. And Kanye West is limping. Look at him.
You can't save everyone, my friend. You try.
But there's gotta be something that you want for yourself.
I mean, how can you care so little about yourself?
You've got so much buried in there.
And you push it down, and you push it down. Do you honestly think
That you can go through life like that and not freak out? Just what?
drink half a fifth a night and you're good?
What's wrong with you?
I decided to go with the categorization of methodical transformations instead of focusing on the nature of the transformation because I believe creating a distinction in the type of transformation you are engaging in, instead of questioning the substantiality of a clip, or one's right to use a clip in a particular manner, actually creates a clearer, yet more lax principle, instead of one that varies by the subjective importance of the clip, or by who published the film the clip is a part of. Third is the time of publishing factor, which focuses on 3 things. Whether a video requires an exchange for viewing, the amount of time a video has been available for viewing, and the difference in time between the publishing of the first video and the publishing of the transformed version of the original. Given this is a factor that, as far as I know, has never been considered, I cannot point to any examples but can specify a reason for suggesting such a factor. A video, when posted, should be able to stand on its own merit within a specified amount of time, before someone else utilizes portions of the video, if not all of the video, for their own purposes. Obviously, merit on YouTube is based on a few factors in and of itself, being a cumulative number of views within a set period of time, viewer ratings, aka like the dislike ratio, and comments objectively critical of a video, whether they are considered sarcastic or serious in nature. I've decided that the conditions in relation to when you upload a video that contains scenes from another video should be based on two factors: the purpose of its use, which I will get to later, and the significance of the film, which would be based on whether advertisement for the film exists. I propose a waiting period of 24 hours for videos that are available to the public for viewing, and a waiting period of 12 months for videos that require an exchange for viewing. Otherwise, the videos will be temporarily blocked if flagged for early publishing. The fourth and final is the link to IP factor, which means that the person who uses clips from another person's IP is expected to add a link to the original work. However, in the event that a viewer flagged the video for lacking one or more relevant reference links to the available platforms of which said IP is available at and of which content was included from, the viewer can add the reference links and the ranges of time material from the IPs was included, instead of having to look through the comments.
Sasuke needs to understand that this isn't a market substitute and that you should support the official release. And there's a hollow point.
Oh my god! Yeah, that.
Okay! Fucking out of here.
Sasuke. You fucking say something else!
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I put up a poll on my community page on Naruto will not be returning to my YouTube channel. Naruto will be over on my website, and that way I know a lot of people are not really on I personally love it, but I want to have a replacement for Naruto, and this first season of My Hero Academia, which is on the poll, is only 13 episodes long. So I thought, okay, instead of starting something like One Piece, because season 2 is running me so hard, I just do One Piece, and I'm like, One Piece is 900 episodes long,
We're blasting off again! That timing, though.
And look at the sweet prize I won.
Yeah, you need to go!
If he won it, why did he have to destroy it? Can someone explain? If he has 3, you're allowed to have 4 in a deck. Does he know that? Just say, he did not have to do that.
Yes, the Blue Eyes White Dragon is a rare and powerful card. And this one will never be used against me.
You could have just put it in your own deck.
My Blue Eyes White Dragon! My treasure!
Oh, he's dying more now. He's definitely dying now.
You can edit the clips you collect however you like, and you can manufacture your own soundtrack over the original, but the method in which clips in the new soundtrack are edited and transformed inform the viewer of the established purpose of the incorporated clips and soundtrack. A clip or film can be used for one of 3 purposes: B-roll, critique and commentary, or comedy. B-roll is the documentation of either one or more irrelevant activities, or of one or more neutral settings. You see this occur in cinematic and episodic material, either to act as a transition from one scene to another, or to add to the runtime. In this sense, the person making the film is using published film to occupy the background of the primary focus footage, though said film may be unobscured at first.
When I go to my local Walmart, typically speaking, meat is usually always gone, the eggs are always gone, canned food is always gone, and this has been for a while now. And if the situation gets worse, it's scary to think what can happen. Anyways, let's get into these 2 articles that I want to show you today. U.S. meat supply is perilously close to a shortage.
However, B-roll could remain unobscured and perhaps attain vague relevance to the topic of discussion.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. This tortoise was so thirsty that it dunked its entire head underwater for a drink. Here's a really smooth bat trick. This person bought a cup of coffee and used the drone to go pick it up.
You want to eat? No, it's not time. You just ate.
Through the hands of greed, he was taken from us.
Warner Brothers brought down the force of God on our poor little rabbit. He was just a little rabbit.
Though the day of reckoning has been brought upon us, I feel our little bunny has been taken someplace new. Someplace where he can finally see perfection.
The last 2 speak for themselves. Comedy, in this sense, is the use of one or more clips cut together to send a message, disassociating from the context of which those clips are originally a part of. This could also be called parody. I am not informed on the subject. I don't know how many bots there are on YouTube, nor if any are multi-purpose. But in regards to what you pay attention to, I assume some of them respond to words and others images. So in regards to my guidelines, the only bots that should be in use are ones that scan for the following: repetitive depictions, also known as mirroring, inversion of repetitive depictions, also known as reverse mirroring, repetitive depictions but at a different display size, also known as picture-in-picture, repetitive depictions but at a different volume and pitch, links to reference IP, and publishing times between films which use the same clips. Before I end this film, I will say two things. First, I have included a link to this document in the description below, so you can comment and suggest your own edits, and, if possible, you can make a copy for yourself. Second, I will have other films proposing new community guidelines and solutions for certain nitpicks published later, so look forward to those. Other than that, feel free to comment, share, and subscribe for more randomness along the way.